Welcome back to our little Slice of Homestead YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to watch our adventures in homesteading here and what we're trying to do. Recently we came out here and it's in this video, or will be. We made this little chicken tractor. Now true, it's small, okay? It is. We're gonna make a bigger one, but started off with it over here, okay? And you can see the ground, how it's so tore up right now because we had one chicken in there. So what I'm going to do today is there's a couple projects. So first I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it right back up here where all these weeds are. And what we'll do is every day we'll take that little chicken tractor right there and we'll move it. So what we'll do is there'll be a bird inside that little area, okay, for 2 days. 2 days is the max that we keep them in here. And we switch them out. So what we'll do is she'll start scratching right up front there, okay? And when she's done and she gets that area in there cleaned out and de-weeded, we'll take the entire chicken tractor and we will move this piece until it marries up with where she already did. So what she already did, for instance, is over here, and you can see where we just moved the front of that chicken tractor to right there. Again, we don't keep her in there too long, and we have more than one bird that we use, but we only put one bird in this little tractor for a total of 2 days. Switch it out and leave it empty for a day so that everybody has a chance to stretch their legs or, you know, be chickens inside their coop. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is start getting this ready for the next bird. Okay, so we were having an issue with, and I don't know why I didn't think about this when we originally put this in a few days ago, about a week ago really, is that I didn't think about when the chickens scratch, they're going to throw dirt. Well, what was happening is she was throwing dirt into her water container, and so it was sucking up all the water. You can see how nasty that water is right now. Now, keep in mind, there's no chicken in there, so I'm not going to leave that dirty like that. I'll clean it up so that she's got good, clean water. This is a simple way to keep their water from getting... Okay, so there you go. Nice clean water. Ended up putting her food over here. Okay. Now she's going to scratch up there. She'll lay her eggs and nest or roost right there. And so that's what's going to happen. So give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back and I will put said bird in said tractor. All right. So we're still working on projects today and switching gears from chickens to all around good thing for the garden and for the chickens would be this. So this is a 65-gallon tank, and when we lived over, before we had the well, we would fill this to use for showering water. We would go to a watering hole and get that. But you can see what I did. I put a hose here, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. It's empty right now. And I'm going to walk it this way, okay? We're going to come through all this stuff here where it's, you can see where a little bit muddy from where they put the new house in, okay? I'm going to walk right this way. And we're going to come through. And I'm going to carry that over here to the garden area. And I'm going to set that on bricks in between this tree and this tree. And what that will do, once I get that set up, I will fill it with water so that my beautiful wife doesn't have to run 100-foot hose all the way to the garden every day. It'll be on me to fill a 5-gallon bucket and fill it until I get a long enough hose to run over here and fill it up. So I'm gonna do that and show you some of the things that I used that I already had to get that project done. Then from there, I have where our well is, I need to use what I have to insulate my casting. Cheap and effective. And what I'm going to use will have more than one purpose. So we'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, YouTube. So I've got that water buffalo set up, and now what I need to do is come over to my hose, which is connected to the back portion of my house, and turn the water on and carry 5-gallon buckets and fill that daggone thing so that my wife has a little less distance to go to water her garden. So you can see I just got a little 5-gallon bucket here, and I'm going to fill that up, give or take 11 times. Give or take 11 times to fill it all the way up. Now, I don't know that I'm going to fill it all the way up today, but again, simple solutions to everyday problems on the homestead. Now, and I'll show you when we get over there. Never do things on your homestead where you're sacrificing one thing for the other. And what I mean by that is, yeah, I know if it works, then it's not stupid. Okay? However, there's a point that you have to understand where, hey, I know that I can get A, B, and C to work, and you have to ask yourself, risk management here, you know, is that risk of what you're doing so great that you or somebody else is going to get hurt? And if the answer to that question is yes, somebody's going to get hurt, then never risk your safety for a project. So out here, what I do is I do risk management. I risk first gain, you know. The risk of this falling, okay, there's a risk. However, I have done what I can do to make it safe. So you can see there's my water buffalo, okay, and underneath here I've used 2 cinder blocks on the front and the back, and then I laid, again, this is all stuff that I just had, some good decking board, not rotted out, not, you know, cracking or breaking, okay, on top of those cinder blocks. And then what I did is I took these fence posts, okay, and I put one on either side, and the hope is that if it does start to slide off, these will either stop or give you time to get out of the way. Now, keep in mind when you're doing this, is yes, just a 65-gallon tank. Completely full, 65 gallons of water is about 500 pounds. I don't think anybody wants 500 pounds of dead weight landing on them. I definitely don't. So you make things as safe as possible. And again, you can always improve some of your things on the homestead. And I'm sure that other people have done things differently than I do. And, you know, as long as it's safe, I'm willing to try that stuff. But again, it's all about using what you have and understanding your risk versus gain. If you think somebody's going to get hurt with something that you built or are currently building, you need to stop and do risk mitigation, because the last thing you want is somebody to get hurt from a project that you did and you didn't stop to think about safety. Everything on your homestead the first thing you should think about when you build something or venture into something new is safety, whether that's cutting a board or putting up a water buffalo. All right, so I promised you a well project today. It's not going to be a really big project. I'm going to use things that I already have, and I'm going to go ahead and insulate my well casting, okay, or casing, if you will. Now, if you see here, underneath this tarp, I've put just an old kid's blanket that kids grew out of, okay, and underneath that, there's an air tank. And what that air tank does is it helps push that water through the pump so you have pressure in your house. What I'm mainly concerned about at this point, insulating, is this, okay? If this all freezes up, that is an issue. That's a problem. And it's an expensive one. So a while back we had some snow here, and to get ready for the snow, I simply took hay. Hay is a good insulator, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have some old wire fencing. I'm going to clip some out, and I'm not sure how I'm going to put it over all this yet. But then I'm going to pack it with hay. That hay will insulate, and I get double the money out of the hay. And what I mean by that is, once that hay starts to break down, I can put that hay in my compost and reuse the hay in my garden. So you figure you spend about $5-6 on a bale of straw hay. If I'm able to get more than one use out of it, why not? That is a money saver right there. Now, eventually I will build something better for the well, but I haven't decided what I'm going to put around it yet, whether it's a pallet house or just 2x4s and some plywood. I'm still playing with the idea of the pallets, so I really haven't made my mind up. But the important part is I need to keep this from freezing right now. And so when I'm done, I'm going to show you what I've done here to keep my well from freezing. All right, so we're back with the well project. Now, this was not a very hard project to do. It was just something that needed to be done, and I figured if I can help somebody out, or, you know, those of you that are interested in what we're doing here, this is what I was talking about with the hay. So all I did is I had and still have a bunch of wire fencing. And so to insulate my well the rest of the way, I took that wire fence, bended it, and created a cage for that hay. So that hay will help keep that insulated until, again, like I said, I build something bigger and better. Now, I just cover this, and, you know, that's well insulated now.